keeping up with the motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with the remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students. TVM welcomes all the students of class 10 for this English writing skills session. William Shakespeare once said, brevity is the soul of wit. Brevity, that is conciseness. While we all know this phrase, not everyone knows how to use the skill of conciseness in their writing. In this session today, we'll learn about the same soul of wit or the art, that is summary. A summary is a shortened retelling of a longer piece, like a book, movie, or essay, in your own words. Synonyms of the word summary are synopsis, précis, abridgment, digest, compendium, condensation, abbreviated version, and outline. Summary is all about three things. The first is keeping important informations and main ideas. Second is deleting examples and supporting details. And the third is paraphrasing, that is using your own words, using your own words for the given words in the passage. Summary writing, importance of summary. Summarizing improves reading skills as students pick out the main ideas of a reading. It also helps with vocabulary skills as students paraphrase a reading by altering the vocabulary and grammar. Critical thinking skills are improved as students decide on the main ideas of the reading to include in the summary. And writing and editing skills are also improved as students draft and edit the summary. So, this is why we need to learn summary writing. Characteristics to accurately represent ideas in the original text. So, whatever ideas are there in the given passage, paragraph, or the text, a good summary accurately represents those ideas. To be comprehensive and must highlight the major points in the text. So, a good summary must highlight the major points in the given text. Next is to be concise, that is short. Next, to be coherent, to make sense in a flow, in a sequence. Then, to be balanced. Next is to be unbiased and must not misinterpret the ideas. It means you are not supposed to include your own opinion or idea in the summary. And the last is to be original in terms of using words or sentences, but must not distort the actual idea or content. What does it mean? While writing a summary, we are supposed to be original in terms of using our words and sentences. That is, we are not supposed to take the words and sentences from the given passage or paragraph. But then we must not make any change in the actual idea or content in the given of the given passage. So these are the characteristics of summary. Steps in summary writing. First, read and reread the material you want to summarize. Reading the given passage or paragraph is very important. More important is to reread so that you understand it well, so that you can summarize it well. Next, to identify the main controlling idea in the original writing. That is very important. Unless and until we identify the main controlling idea, the main idea in the original text, we are not going to write the summary proper. So it's very important to recognize, to identify, to come to know what is the main content, the main idea in the given passage. Third, identify the main supporting points. And this is also important to identify the main supporting points, as only when we come to know the main supporting points, we will have the clue to include in our summary so that there will be a proper flow of sentences. Identify the keywords so that we can paraphrase those words in order to make an or to write an effective summary. That is, paraphrase keywords and the main ideas, rewrite. After identifying the keywords, we have to paraphrase, that is, rewrite the keywords and the main idea. Whatever the words and the main ideas are there in the given passage, we are supposed to identify first, and then we are supposed to write in another words, in our own words. Check your sentences against the original writing to make sure you have included all the main ideas. Now, after you do all these steps, so till paraphrase, after that you have to check the sentences that you have written, that you have thought of, whether all the points, the ideas of the original text are included or no. Check your sentences to make sure you haven't added any new information. So two things you have to check. The first, you have to check whether you have included all the points, the main ideas given in the text to your summary, and also you have to check whether you haven't added any new information, any extra information. And then rewrite your sentences using appropriate transition to link one idea to another. And then after this, we can say rough work, we are supposed to rewrite our sentences using appropriate transition after the checking, okay, to link one idea to another. Now, do's and don'ts for summary writing. The first is remove what is superfluous, that is unneeded, and retain the core essence. So, whatever is not required, we have to remove that and we have to retain with the core essence. Write in the simple present tense. We are supposed to write the summary in the simple present tense, but we can also make use of past and future tense, uh, as when there is a reference of these tenses, then we have to make use of past and future. If there is a reference of past tense, past incident or future incident, uh, past or future incident, we have to write in the same tense. Make use of the reported speech. Summary has to be written in the reported speech. Make use of conjunctions. Give an appropriate title. Title is very important. Write in a logical or chronological order. We have to write in a logical order when we write a summary, that is in flow, and chronological order when the text or the given passage is a story. Then we have to write in the chronological order. If it is a dialogue, the given text or the paragraph, if it is a dialogue, we are supposed to write as narrative, the summary. Use verbs such as asserts, argues, denies, proves, explains, etc. in the introductory sentence. We cannot make use of such verbs always, but there are times, most of the times, we can make use of these verbs while writing summary. Give a one sentence restatement as conclusion of the major claim in the passage. So it is about the conclusion that has to be written for the summary. So the main difficult part is to start and to end the summary. So starting, we can use any of the verbs that we have just come to know. Okay, if the author is known, we can mention the author. If author or writer is not known, we can uh, refer to the text or the paragraph or the passage. Conclusion, one sentence restatement, that is whatever you come to know after reading and rereading the passage, that you have to write as a restatement as conclusion. Whatever is in the passage is of the major claim. So that will come to know only after reading the passage carefully. Very important is to write the summary in one paragraph. Use appropriate vocabulary and grammar. Proofread your summary. The last step, but very important step, that you have to check whether you have written everything appropriately or no. Don'ts. Don't express your own opinion, not required. Don't insert any question. You're not supposed to put or to ask any question in your summary. Don't use abbreviations or contractions, no short forms. And don't be shaky. Don't repeat any word or sentence. Repetition is not allowed. Don't include any example. You are not supposed to use any example. And the last is don't exceed the word limit. Now, word limit, mostly in the question it is mentioned how many words you are going to write. Students, summary is a little bit different from précis. We know that has to be written as 1/3 of the given paragraph or the passage. So I will show you in the coming slide how to make calculation for the same. Before that, we have done with the do's and don'ts of summary writing. One thing I want to add here for you students, that when you read and reread the passage or the text paragraph, you, that is to understand, you are supposed to do one more thing, that is in writing. You make columns, two columns. In one column you write everything that is required, that everything that you think must be included, and the another column you write everything that is not required, that has to be excluded, and that will be easier for you to go ahead and complete your summary in less time and more effectively. Model summary writing. Write a short summary of the following passage. Suggest a suitable title. So this is the passage in two paragraphs. There is no any title here, and it is about English education and English language that have done immense good to our country. Okay, so what I was talking about, calculation to write it in accurate number of words, that is 1/3 of the given passage or 33%. So first of all, we have to count the total number of words in the first line. So let's count the total number of words in the first line: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there are 15 words in the first line, and now we'll count the total number of lines. So total number of lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So total number of lines 13 and total number of words in the first line 15. So we have to multiply. So when we multiply, we'll get 195, and then that 195, that is the multiplication of total number of lines and total number of words in the first line, we have to divide it by 3. 195 divided by 3, so we get 65. So 65 is the expected number of words we have to write our summary in. So this is the calculation. Let's check the summary. Title: English, the influential language. And this is the summary. So the number of words can be 65, or it can be 10 more or less, that is okay. So this is the summary. Practice summary writing. Write a short summary of the following passage. Suggest a suitable title. So this is the passage, paragraph. You have to write a summary. You have to follow all the rules, steps that you have been taught today, and also you have to make use of the calculation in order to write a summary of this given passage. Thank you.